What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Terrier Owner YouTube channel. Josh and Luna here with TerrierOwner.com. The channel is specifically designed for any of you with a new terrier, or more specifically a Jack Russell Terrier trying to learn the ropes. And speaking of learning the ropes, today's video is especially important for you to tune into because today is all about covering the top 8 mistakes that I made when I adopted Luna, or my Jack Russell Terrier, right here. It's coming up, so stick around. Okay guys, real quick, before diving into those 8 mistakes, as always, be sure that if you enjoy these kind of videos to give Luna and I one of those thumbs up. It goes a long way towards a YouTube algorithm giving us more chances to be in front of other people with terriers to help them out. So again, be sure to give us a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification button so you're notified, and never forget to head over to TerrierOwner.com and check out the blog. Now guys, let's go ahead and dive into those 8 crucial mistakes that I made when I adopted Luna here, and what you can do to better prepare yourself for your Jack Russell Terrier that you may be getting ready to adopt, or maybe you just did. And let's kick that off with the first mistake that I had, and I bet you it is super common for other people to make the same mistake, but what I did was I overestimated the amount of energy they have when you adopt them, and then underestimated the amount of energy they have later. It's the exact opposite, to be 100% truthful with you. In the beginning, it's almost like having a newborn baby. They just sleep all the time. Life is pretty good. They don't really do anything wrong. She slept a lot of the first week, and then I underestimated the other end of the spectrum. After that is when the energy levels get pretty crazy, when they need a lot of exercise, and when it's nearly impossible for them to lose sight of you throughout the house, because they are everywhere at that point. They have to be the center of attention. They can run laps for longer than you're willing to watch. It's ridiculous. So if you're currently getting ready to adopt one, you can kind of prepare and bank on the fact that it's going to be a calm first few weeks. Enjoy it while it lasts, because it doesn't last very long, and then it's about to get crazy for you after that. It's not saying that it makes them a bad dog. It's just saying to prepare. The more prepared you are, the more you understand that those energy levels are on their way, the better off you'll be. Guys, the second critical thing that I did wrong with Luna that I wish I could have gone back with is I was not prepared at all for having enough toys or enough things for her to do. Again, this plays back into those energy levels. Clearly, you want something that can mentally stimulate them in those situations, but I had no idea how quickly they go through toys, how much fun they have with them, and how much they want you to interact with them with any kind of toy. It can be tugging on a rope, it could be throwing a ball in the backyard, but you need to prepare on having a decent collection of them around, something that can keep them busy and something that can occupy their mind when you can't hang out with them all the time. So what you can do differently from me in that situation is just have a good collection of decent chew toys for your Jack Russell. It helps promote good teeth health, it keeps them busy, it keeps your shoes and everything else in the house a little bit safer. Trust me, it's worth it. I always have links in the description for a lot of my recommended items. Usually it's something as easy as ordering from Amazon, but if you want to check those out, be sure to check out the description below. Alright guys, number 3, and this one's pretty important, and some of you this may not apply to, but you need to do some planning with your yard. I was not prepared in the slightest for this. I had already owned a dog for several years before we got her as our second dog, but 2 different dogs, 2 different mindsets. So these Jack Russells, especially when they're young and you haven't trained them, they do dig. I have a video on this channel specifically dedicated towards talking about digging with these dogs that you can check out, but plan on knowing that they are smart enough to get out of the yard if it's not prepped very well, if it's not fenced in, that they're going to chase some rodents, and that they might do some damage to areas you don't want them to do. So that doesn't mean not to adopt the dog or that there's anything wrong with the dog. It means that you need to understand their personality and plan accordingly. You know, in the beginning you can walk them out on a leash. Yes, that is annoying, it takes up more of your day, but it's going to save your yard from having holes in it. You could use something like an in-ground, lead with a stake that goes into the ground, and obviously make sure that there's no exit points for them, because once they get out and start sniffing their way around the neighborhood, they're a pretty quick dog too, and they're going to have a lot of fun just getting attention from you, whether that's negative attention or positive. So once they get out, they might think you chasing them around the neighborhood is the funnest thing they've got to do. So plan on prepping your yard accordingly, and if you live in an apartment or some other that are kind of small space living, plan on how you're taking them out for either their walks or just to go potty. Which, guys, that leads me into the fourth biggest mistake that I made when I adopted my Jack Russell that you're looking at right here. And that was underestimating how difficult small dogs like these Jack Russells are to potty train. I know that some of them might respond to it immediately. I get it. The problem that I had was I was always used to a big dog, which I could be wrong about this, and maybe there's no science to back up this conclusion whatsoever, but I feel like big dogs are much better at holding their bladder, and small dogs, if you're not used to it yet or used to the timing on when you need to get them outside, it can be a struggle. So I struggled with it. It took longer than I anticipated to potty train her, especially for peeing inside. I was just so used to a big dog that I think I made a lot of mistakes. I don't think it's a knock towards a dog. I think I just wasn't prepared and I had to make the adjustments to make it work. I mean, once you own one of these dogs, I mean, yes, they do things that can annoy you, but they're also one of the most entertaining, affectionate dogs you'll ever own. So you take the good with the bad and you learn when to blame yourself for the things that have happened along the way. And when it comes to potty training, it was 100% me not being ready or prepared for it. So do better than me, be prepared, let them out more often. All right, guys, the next one will depend greatly on your lifestyle, but I fully underestimated the exercise requirements for these guys. And I don't know, a hard set rule on how much exercise they really need. Obviously, if you have a really active lifestyle, they're gonna need a little less because they're probably out and about. If they have a fenced in yard, they can run around more, etc. But just seeing their energy levels and understanding now at this point what it takes to actually wear her out into kind of a state of submission. And what I mean by that is she can actually be calm in the evenings and relax. It took more than I thought. I mean, they can go for a run with you. They can walk miles with you. They've got the energy and they want to burn it off. So if you're not active, find a way to let them still burn some energy. And if you are, don't underestimate how much they can really tolerate or how much they want, because I think that they will shock you in that regard. They need it, they desire it, and it's going to make their behavior a ton better if you do it. So make sure you do. All right, guys, this one I kind of find a little hysterical, but the next mistake I made was underestimating just how jealous and attention seeking this dog is. So we already have another dog, Graham, the yellow lab, who would be in more of these videos, except Luna just cannot handle somebody else stealing the show. She's got to be the one on the lap. She's got to be the one being pet when they're both around each other. But these dogs get jealous. If you're not petting them, they're coming right up to you, finding a way to get you to pet them. If they're not on your lap, they're jumping up on your lap or finding a way to get there. They hate not being in the room with you. Basically, they are attached to your hip in any fashion you could imagine. And I just didn't think that was going to be the case. I knew they were a little clingy, but not like she is. And in all honesty, guys, it's kind of off-putting when it's first happening, but then you kind of learn to roll with it and it becomes one of the awesome traits about them. They're just loyal and want to be around their owners. Or they want to be around everybody else too. I mean, if you have people over, this is a dog that has a very difficult time just being put out of the social circle, so to speak. So keep that in mind. I don't know if you're going to crate your dog during a social gathering, if they're going to be out back playing. Wherever they're at, they know where you're at most likely, and they want to be there. So just prepare for that jealousy to take place. Be prepared for them to want your attention and find a way to steal it, and you'll be in good shape. And guys, if you take all of those things that I made a mistake on and you had to sum it up into like one personality characteristic, I would sum all of my mistakes into one thing, which is simply I didn't realize how much of a big-minded, big-bodied dog this is in a small body. This dog lives much bigger than their body portrays. They're not scared of anything. They want to be around everything, and they just have a personality that matches it perfectly. I wasn't prepared for it, but if you are and that's what you're looking for, it's exactly what you're going to get, and it is awesome. But the more prepared you are, the better, obviously, because you can accommodate much better for them to be happy, and you're not going to get frustrated with some of the things that you're not prepared for in that situation. So obviously, hopefully those helped you out, or the mistakes that I made, and you can learn from them and adjust accordingly for your new Jack Russell. And obviously, guys, I love when you guys comment on these specific types of videos as well. That way we can all kind of learn what we can do better. But what are some of the mistakes that you made with your Jack Russell Terrier that you'd recommend people to prepare for? Be sure to drop those comments for us down below. We love to respond to them and love to hear from you guys. Again, guys, if you didn't give us that thumbs up before, be sure to do that now. It helps Luna and I out greatly, like we've said in many videos. Same thing with going to terrierowner.com. The URL is flashing across the bottom of the screen now. Be sure to do that. That helps us out dramatically with Google seeing us for more people with terriers as dogs that need our help as well. So be sure to do that. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification button so you can tune in every Sunday morning when these new videos come out. Luna and I appreciate all of you. We hope you're having a great weekend, and we will see you guys in the next video. Take care.